Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Aramide. Feel free to call me waterwalkingara. This is a brief run through of our trip to Halong Bay, Vietnam. Rosy Cruise sent a comfortable 8-seater bus to pick us up from our hotel in Hanoi, north of Vietnam, around 8 a.m. We then traveled 2 hours by road to Along Bay. A ferry picked us up at the bay and it took us about 40 minutes to get to our cruise. We were about 25 people in total. Upon arrival, we were given some drinks to refresh us, and by the way, we traveled just 1 week after the typhoon that occurred in Vietnam in September 2024, and the ambience looked great notwithstanding. There's a snippet of the itinerary towards the end of the video and a summary of our flight, so please stay tuned and enjoy the tour. I've also included a rough estimate of the cost of the cruise in the description below. As you can see, the interior was very neat and beautiful with an amazing panoramic view. The ship had a decent sized pool that can fit in a couple of people at a time. We traveled mid-September and the weather was humid with a bit of rainfall. The rain didn't stop us from catching our fun as it was quite minimal. It rained about 1 hour in a day and the weather will get humid and dry right after. Our friends who visited in December mentioned they had to put on a jacket as the weather was cold. February to April is a pretty good time to visit Vietnam. The cabin had a king size bed and one small bed for kids, which came in really handy. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button right now. Thank you very much. The bathroom had a beautiful view, as did the balcony. The staff were very professional and polite. This is something I found really common among the Vietnamese people. Despite the tough times the Vietnamese people had during World War, I found that they had an amazing spirit and an incredibly big heart, and they are also quite hospitable. They also love kids. The ship had 3 decks, and this is what the dining area looks like. Oh, have I mentioned how many times we were fed? So many times. All of the meals were absolutely amazing and delicious. Guys, there's no dieting or feed farming when you visit Vietnam because their food is so tasty and everything is so fresh. After lunch, we went back to our room to change into our bathers. Then we went kayaking about 3 p.m. We learned how to kayak right there. Hubby jumped in the water and I had a little swim as well. Next, we changed into our party clothes as it was time to attend the evening party on the deck. They also played some Niger songs, which I was really excited about. And then we just relaxed and soaked in the view. By the way, we flew 7 hours from Western Australia to Ho Chi Minh City and 2 hours from Ho Chi Minh City to Hanoi. We stayed in Hanoi for a couple of days before heading to Along Bay by road. Just take a look at this view, guys. Our creative is our God and the beautiful works of his hand. Just breathtaking. We had a little culinary class where we were taught how to make some rice paper rolls. That's our little man learning how to make some rice paper rolls. After this, we had dinner, and that's the incredible view once again. Next, we went squid fishing. Oh, by the way, this man caught nothing all night long. The next day, I woke up early in the morning to catch the sunrise. This is what the official itinerary of Rosy Cruise looks like. I'd like to mention that we were at Halong Bay for just 2 days and 1 night, and it was really activity packed. One night is really all you need, especially if you have kids, as it can get claustrophobic for them. However, if it's just you and your spouse and your aim is maximum relaxation, quality time, and being shut off from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, then I would recommend multiple nights. We had breakfast, then headed out in a boat for a ride into the cave, and the monkeys came out to say hello, which made our son really excited. I felt some water droplets on my skin while going through the cave, and it reminded me of when the Israelites complained because they were thirsty and couldn't see water around them. What they didn't know was that the solution to their problem was in the rock, and God eventually split open the rock to give them water to drink. By so doing, it called forth what was already in existence in the rock into the physical or into light. And it reminded me of a time when I complained because I thought there was no solution to a certain problem. But at the God ordained Kairos moment, my eyes were open and I realized that the solution had been there all along. My eyes were just blinded because I had no revelation at the time. We headed back to the cruise for a quick snack and packed our bags to head back to Hanoi. Now, Australians in the house, did you know that there's a Disney World equivalent in Vietnam? That's right, you don't have to travel hours to Europe and the United States before your kids can experience Disney World. Join me next time for a brief guide of our trip from Hanoi to Nha Trang, Vietnam. Bye!